What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And this is a video idea that I've brewed in my head ever since I met my first couple of YouTubers. But having recently been reintroduced to some of my favorite YouTubers by traveling and going to conventions and stuff and talking to these guys, it's something that I finally wanted to put down in a video here. Before I get started here, I want to say that as a successful YouTuber, a lot of this is coming from my own perspective. I can't speak for any particular YouTuber, and a lot of the YouTubers who may see this video might say that they don't agree with everything I have to say in this video, and that's fine. I've spoken to dozens with YouTubers, though, and I can tell you that most of what I'm about to say here is very common for very large creators, and I want to share this stuff with you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, and let me tell you, based on my experiences and the stories I've shared with other successful YouTubers, what it's like to be a successful YouTuber. I think the first thing people think of when they think of success is the money. And certainly there's plenty of people who flex that money here on YouTube by buying very, very expensive cars, very, very expensive mansions, or, plastic toys, the way I do, magic cards and stuff. And yeah, it's true. If you're getting a few million views a month, then you're getting at least a few $1,000s a month. And if you're getting 100 million views in a month, then you're probably getting somewhere near $100,000 or double that, depending on your buy rate, your ads, the category you're in, and so on and so forth. So there's definitely money to be had here. And then when it comes to YouTubers with side projects like merchandising or their own product lines or in-video advertisements or their own podcast or things along that lines, well, sky's the limit. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of money that can be made there. If you're willing to do the extra work, you can make the extra money. You can make yourself a very rich person. So yes, there's plenty of YouTube millionaires, but it's not as many as you would think. And there are still plenty of people who've been on the platform for a really long time who only earn enough, to buy a really nice house, to buy a really nice car. They're never going to have that $1 million in the bank, and that's fine. They're still doing really, really well for themselves. But I think everybody just assumes, Bill Gates rich or maybe rice gum rich, but very few people are. There's only a handful of people in that rice gum bubble. What a lot of people don't consider, though, is that even though you're making $1 million a year, $2 million a year, you may not keep all of that money. Obviously, you've got a livelihood and traveling expenses, business expenses, and stuff like that. But a lot of people are actual job creators. Maybe they invest a bunch of stuff into a startup, a bunch of stuff into an app. They hire a team of people to create stuff for them or to help them create their stuff. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of expense that can go into that money. So even if you're making $1 million a year, you probably aren't pocketing $1 million a year. You've got YouTubers like Jesse McJuggernuggets, who invested a big chunk of his money into his Storyfire app. You've got the Vlogbrothers, who invest a tremendous amount of money and resources into putting people to work here on YouTube, creating science channels and educational and social channels. You've got people like Philip DeFranco, who hire a huge team of people to make his everyday show, but then is also building a news network with his wealth. So again, even if you're making that money, you don't always just keep it. Sometimes you use it to create awesome things, and the people that do, they're some of my favorite YouTubers. Well, money is really fun to talk about, and we all want to get rich making YouTube. Something I think we never talk about here is the mental health of YouTubers. But after watching Shane Dawson's collaboration with the Graveyard Girl and them talking about mental health and forced positivity here on YouTube, I wanted to talk about my experiences talking to other YouTubers when it comes to their mental health, because I think it's really fascinating. Now, I'm not going to name any names here, but how many channels at this point come across as like super happy families, super happy teens, super happy makeup models and beauty gurus that eventually make a video talking about their anxiety, their depression, their social issues, their addiction, how their family is crumbling behind the scenes? That happens time and time again. And I think it's because YouTube kind of encourages that false positivity, whether it's to please the audience or to please the brands. But here's the truth. YouTubers are just like you. We have dysfunction in our family and dysfunction in our bodies and dysfunction in our brains. And some of us are more open about it than others, but most of us will be open about it eventually. In Hollywood, you're trained to never talk about this stuff because if you do, it can ruin your career. Eventually here on YouTube, because you have such a personal relationship with your audience, you will eventually give in and talk about this stuff. When you do, sometimes it actually helps your career. But to bring this full circle back to the money, I think a lot of people equate money and wealth with happiness, and it just really isn't the case. A lot of people who spend their entire lives dreaming of becoming happy win the lottery and discover that they're just as miserable. And honestly, getting a successful YouTube channel is very much like winning the lottery. Now, certainly money can be the root of some severe unhappiness. Laying awake at night, not knowing whether or not you're going to be able to make your rent check this month, knowing that if you lose your job, everything could fall apart, worrying about your student loans, all of that stuff. But once you have enough money to eliminate those problems, that's kind of where money stops being awesome. And it should stand to reason that if you are mentally depressed and suicidal in your mom's basement, then you're probably still going to be mentally depressed in the basement of your mansion. Just because you made some money, just because you have some money, doesn't make all of that stuff go away. Now, it makes it a lot easier to handle it through therapy and through experiences and doing cool stuff and getting out of that basement and doing neat stuff. So I'm not saying money doesn't help. I'm just saying money can't fix the problem entirely. So almost every time I talk to a YouTuber, I would say 9 out of 10, they will tell me how grateful they are that I'm open about the problems I'm having and the mental issues and the physical issues, because they're facing similar issues and they don't know how to talk to their audience about it. But almost universally, if you come into YouTube with some problems, you're going to keep those problems as you're successful here on YouTube and probably for quite some time after. And that seems to be almost everybody I've talked to. And if you really think about it, creative people tend to be some of the most depressed. Intelligent people tend to be some of the most depressed. And in order to run a business and build one out of your small home and be an entertaining person, you probably have to be somewhat intelligent and somewhat creative. And boy, all the baggage that comes with that stays with you when you're successful on YouTube. And I will remind you from the beginning of this video, I can't speak for every other YouTuber. There are plenty of YouTubers out there who are perfectly happy, who are living their dreams, that are smiling from ear to ear from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to bed. I don't know any of them, but they're probably out there. But at the end of the day, most of us are still human. And being a successful YouTuber, being successful at something you want to be successful at, you stay human. Besides that stuff, another very common trait that I see in YouTubers is humility. I think even when you're standing at the top of the world or standing in that beautiful mansion, or you're at one of these crazy events with one of these crazy parties and there's beautiful women and alcohol free-flowing everywhere around you, most of us realize that we are very lucky to be there. It's bizarre that we are there. Even if this is your 50th party, your 100th party, your 10,000th event, most people just kind of look around the room in awe and just surprised that they are there. One of the biggest reasons this is such a surprise to some of us is because we are all natural-born introverts. If you like to spend 6 to 8 hours a day filming and editing completely alone in your bedroom, chances are you probably don't feel comfortable at one of these big parties. Now, plenty of people do. Plenty of people really adapt to them, or some people know that it's abnormal for them, so they just get out of their shell for that one night or that one event. But for the most part, you'll see YouTubers who get used to this stuff, just wanting to get back to their room to film the use the footage they filmed that day and share with you guys, because that's their way of being social. Not drinking, not partying, not the loud music, not all the obnoxious, weird shit that's going on. Most people just want to go back to their room and hang out with you. Some of the most extroverted YouTubers on the platform that I've met are actually really quiet in real life and are just glad to sit and listen to other people talk. It's really surprising. It's kind of a culture shock sometimes. And along with that humility and that introversion comes a tremendous amount of self-esteem issues. And even the YouTubers that seem very confident, maybe even sometimes full of themselves on their channels, they will talk to me and open up and say, I don't know why I was so successful. I don't know why I deserved any of this. I don't feel like I do deserve any of it. I feel like it's all going to be yanked out from under me tomorrow. My audience is going to stop watching tomorrow. The algorithm is going to start hating me tomorrow. You've been on the platform for 12 years. How do you do it? How do you do it? I don't know. I feel exactly the same way. I lay awake at night wondering what happens when you guys decide to stop watching, what happens when the algorithm stops delivering my videos. We all do that. I think part of it's YouTube. I think part of it is just being in show business. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that creative people have very low self-esteem, and a lot of us are introverts as well. And don't get me wrong here. When I talk about this stuff, I'm not trying to get you to feel sorry for me or any other YouTuber. You can feel however you want to feel. I'm just saying that on the surface, it's very different from what people are experiencing on this side of the camera, I think. Yes, the money is there for a good number of us, but not quite as much as you would think. A lot of people don't know how to spend their money. They don't know how to hold on to their money. They don't know how to invest wisely. So they're going to be broke a lot sooner than you realize. Then there are plenty of people who seem very, very happy on the platform, and they just aren't as happy in real life. They, like you, like me, just like anybody else, are filled with self-doubt and worry and concern and anxiety and all of the other things that comes with humanity. Even if they seem like a very happy robot on their videos, most of the time they're still human and just as human as you or I. The point of this video is, of course, to get you to understand a little bit better what it's like to be a YouTuber, but especially for those of you who want to be a YouTuber one day and want to be successful at it, you really should stop and ask yourself, why do you want that? Because if it's for the money, know that it may not be as much money as you think, and you may personally never get there. If it's because it feels like it would fix all of the problems and make you a better person, know that even with that success, even with that fame, even with the money that comes with it, It doesn't take away your problems. But if you want to succeed on YouTube because you're a natural at it, because this is something you love filmmaking, you love social media, you love opening up to the world, maybe you want to make the world a little bit of a better place by sharing your experiences, by helping people, or at least giving them an opportunity to be distracted for a little bit of time. If you've got a message that you need to get out of your head and into the world, if you are just obsessed with this and this is just who and what you are, then all of that success and all that other stuff may come with it. But otherwise, I don't think it ever will. If you just want to be successful for success's sake, that's a tough road. And know that very few people make that happen. Very few successful YouTubers I know plan to be successful YouTubers. They were just doing what their brain and their body told them to do and happen to be good at it. And they also got absurdly lucky, because there's not a single YouTuber near the top that doesn't realize exactly how lucky they got. And if they don't admit that, they're either lying to you or they're lying to themselves, honestly. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you still want to be a successful YouTuber, know that with a tremendous amount of hard work, a little bit of talent, and a heck of a lot of luck, you'll get there. And I hope that you guys do. And I hope you'll know exactly what to do when you get there, because my generation of YouTubers, we sure didn't. We still don't know what we're doing. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.